What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. iFish5. I'm Clay. Today's video is brought to you by Claymerica Productions. We're just getting it done in the outdoors. Today, we're going to talk about what's tied on for mid-March. The bass are in transition. Haven't found any on the bed yet. Caught several smaller males and one big female last week. So that's telling me the males are moving up pretty shallow to start making the beds. But it's still pre-spawn here where I'm fishing anyway. We got about 73-degree day here in the great state of Alabama. But other than that, we had some comments from the fans about maybe a lot of friends I've met down here fish from the bank and not a kayak or boat. So we're going to start off with some bank fishing videos. Here comes soon. Probably a review on boat fishing, definitely some kayak fishing. But today I just chose a nice spot for this video because it's so pretty outside. This is what I call the missile defense pond. It is it's a public fishery. Nobody ever fishes here, but there are some nice bass in here. Caught predominantly largemouth. I have caught one spotted bass out of here. He was very little, but still a spot. Missile defense pond, yes, because surrounded around here is 4 or 5 companies that work missile defense, especially Raytheon. Raytheon's right over on the other side. Can't see it. They're big on the missile and space defense. So it's the missile defense pond. If you look on it, if you find this lake on the Google Maps, it doesn't ever say anything about the name. But let's hop into it here. So once the bass are on the beds, predominantly the smallmouth around here are feeding off crayfish. Your largemouth bass, your fat sally's going after the bluegill. It's a love-hate relationship. They love the bluegill, main forage all year round, bluegill. But when it comes down to spawning and they got eggs on the bed and they hatch their fry, and bluegill come in there and start picking them off. So they hate them. They'll chase them out. They'll do whatever they can to kill them, eat them. They don't even have to eat them. They'll just try to kill them. That's when what is this? Oh yeah, Bass Pro Shops. Belly-weighted bull shad comes into play. They do make a 4-incher. These are 3-inchers. And here, I'll grab one out. They're belly-weighted, like I said, and they're great for bouncing around in the shallows on the bed right there. They're a great little swim tail action. Like I said, belly-weighted, orange throat. And I prefer the little ones. They got very sharp hooks, so they will tag into a big bass. Just be sure you set the hook nicely. But they bounce. You can bounce them around that bed and just really piss them off, and really entice them into eating. Now, with the several bait casting combos I got set up for today, and I picked 2 spin cast combos to throw, primarily with the 5 to 6 foot deep depth range. Water clarity is going to be clear in some of the ponds I picked out for today. I am going to go with a 1/2 ounce jig head. Then this is going to be a pumpkin green with a little watermelon flake in it with a Strike King Rage Crawl without the flanges here. So it's more of an oscillating and a flapping motion to grab attention. But this'll sink nicely. I haven't tied it on yet, but it will be. Another go-to I'm going to that I've had some luck with. I trimmed the it's going to be non-weedless. This is going to be scaled down to a 1/4 ounce jig head with a very limited skirt. I left a little bit of each: the orange, the light blue, and the speckled green with what seems to be a little purple specs in there too. But I trimmed it very lightly and outfitted it with a baby blue-green Guggen bait Bandito bug, and these have the flanges, so this thing swims great. I mean, I can't say enough about the Guggen bait Bandito bug. Just alone on Texas rig, it'll slay bass. But this, top notch. I'm going to work this around structure, shallows. It will be tied on today. Another key piece is the Reaction Tackle swim bait. These are 3.5 inch, and I outfitted. He said, "Clay, why such a big jig head? Why a 1/2 ouncer?" Well, bass are in the transition right now. You're going to find them from 15, 20 feet down to 2 foot of water. I've seen them hanging. I've caught them deep, and last week it was a horrendous weekend of fishing, but I found some just couldn't trick into biting. It literally in a foot of water. This is a nice little bluegill, white-bellied swim bait. Great action, and you can work it from your 15 to 20 foot depth all the way up to your shallower parts where you're fishing. That's on paired with a Shimano SLX 7.2 gear ratio, fine reel. Shimano Curado E200 E7 with a 4.5 inch mooch minnow. So I'm going big. Crush City mooch minnow, 4.5 inch. Paired with a another 1/2 ounce head underspin. So going to be able to work from that 20 foot depth range all the way up to shallow, or vice versa, start shallow, work back to the boat. And this, just get with a little, maybe if it's a cloudy condition, just this little extra flash gives it a little bit of extra flair in the water, like, ooh, we got multiple minnows, by one swim bait's going to mimic one minnow, and then throw an underspin with an inch longer swim bait. So got your 3 inch, boom. And then you got your 4 inch, 4.5 inch with an underspin. Bigger the fish, the better, right? Bigger the bait, the bigger the fish. That's what they say anyway. I might not catch anything, but at least I look good doing it. That's always my motto. Now, that's covered. Got your jigs. Well, to cover water, you want to do two things when you get out. You want to find the fish, and then later on in the day when the bite gets tough, you find that structure, your laydowns, your overhangs, any of your submerged rock piles, and you can pick them out of the structure, and that's when you're going to need your Texas rigs, your weedlesses. Is weedlessness a word? Who knows, but it is now. You heard it here first. The shady pockets, but to cover water first and find the fish, possibly get into a school, you're going to use your square bill crankbaits, but today we got tied on this is another Guggen bait. Forgot the name of it, but it's a lipless crankbait, yes. Got quite a few BBs in there. Great action, great wobble action. And what I like to do with these is I like to pull it off the bottom up or to the side and just pause. Let that thing pause, sink, just go down naturally. And then sometimes on grass edges, I'll burn it. But primarily the way I fish these lipless are, with a good 2-minute pause in between reeling in my slack. And this one does sink. It's not a floater, so it's getting that dropping action, and you might get a reaction strike off of it, or the bass is going to hit it when it's sinking. This is Fire Crawl Colors, good for springtime, and my other combo has made it down to the ground here. That's on the this is outfitted on a 7.2 Abu Garcia Rebo, and this one is on another Shimano SLX, but this is an 8.2 speed ratio, and my old trusty springtime and wintertime chatterbait. This is an Evo chatterbait with a orange blade. For some reason around here they love the orange blade. Pumpkin green with orange fire crawl, and changing up the trailer, trying this trailer. And this is a Crush City Scout minnow, I think, yeah. And it's as you can see, fire crawl colors. So that being said, got a mixture, you know, of the production baits with the lipless crankbait, the two swim baits in two different sizes to be like, oh, I'm a little minnow, I'm lost in the depths, eat me please. And, you know, my old trusty go-to chatterbait, and my swim jigs with a strike king, rage crawl, and the Googan Bandito bug that you just absolutely cannot beat. So that is what's tied on for mid-March here in Alabama. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Watch it all the way through. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please subscribe. Like the video. It means a lot. Appreciate y'all. Tight lines.